Hey everybody, Tony 2.0 here. We are on the cusp of some very cool times in gaming. And there is a lot of big name titles coming out. Titanfall, Destiny, Elder Scrolls Online. There are countless games planning to come out this year that are going to kind of revolutionize the market. It seems like the whole genre of gaming is kind of changing as we were through phases of the RPGs, the strategy games, the first person shooters. Things are kind of developing into a mix of all these genres, and developers are now able to combine some of those aspects into one game. This video is in particular going to discuss Elder Scrolls Online, as I am the always consummate pessimist. I want to talk about this game, and it's something I should probably do now because we're just past the beta testing phase of it and now into really crunch time for the developers. For those of you that do not know, Elder Scrolls Online, essentially they're going to take Skyrim and turn it into an MMO. This poses its own problems, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about right now. I'm a little bit concerned for the developers. Going from one of the most beloved and probably one of the best single-person games of all time, turning that into an MMO is going to be much more difficult than they probably even anticipated. On top of that, they're making a couple missteps along the way that really throw up some red flags for me. I was a longtime player of World of Warcraft, and in World of Warcraft, it's one of the only subscription-based MMO games that has ever worked. The reason for that is the amount of content that's put into the game on a regular basis, the amount of support that's provided to that game, and the amount of endgame content. For those of you that don't understand what that is, it's not just stuff that you can do, stuff that you can play. Not like your FPS games where there's multiplayer, because that's going to be a part of Elder Scrolls Online as well. Endgame is where those large groups of people can progress and prove how good they are at your game. This seems to be the downfall of just about any MMO, especially AAA, that I can think of in recent memory. I do not know of another MMO that has been able to be held up on the same podium as World of Warcraft. Case in point, name me another one that is successful or even large or even medium-sized that people are still paying a subscription for. The most recent example of this is the latest Star Wars MMO they tried to put out. I believe it was called The Old Republic. The entire fan base for Star Wars was completely behind this game, as they hadn't seen a quality Star Wars game in a very long time. Within 6 months, that game was free to play. Within 8 months, the game was completely dead. The reason for that? Lack of endgame. This is something I'm very concerned about for Elder Scrolls Online. As I was a huge fan of Skyrim, I want this project to be good, and I want it to be something that I'm actually willing to pay money for, and I'm actually willing to play. However, even World of Warcraft, as good as it is, and as much time as I have spent in that game, it's still not okay to pay $15 a month. That's why I don't play the game anymore. Elder Scrolls Online is going to have a huge following in the beginning. Unfortunately, my feeling is they're going to fall very short in content long before they think they're actually going to. When Star Wars Old Republic came out, it was like 7 days before the top guilds had everything completed in that game. What do? If someone has completely finished your game, all the way to the end of the content that they can do, there's no hard modes, there's nothing planned for months down the line, how do you keep those people paying for the subscription? It's simple mathematics. We're paying money for our entertainment hours. If that entertainment is not available, you're not going to get our money. For whatever reason, there are a few things that actually break that mold, but MMOs don't tend to be. What I've also heard is that there's going to be real money transactions, and I don't know how far this is going to go, but a word of caution. If there is a live money or real money auction house, this game will be dead before it even hits the shelves. Anything that resembles pay to win in an MMO will absolutely cripple it. And if you guys notice anything like that, steer clear of the game. It will not be fun for you to play, and it will be incredibly frustrating. The other side of the coin here is this is an MMO. It's a genre of people that you're trying to get from Skyrim into a completely different kind of game. The people that loved Skyrim and the single person aspect of that may not be the MMO crowd. And MMO fans and MMO players tend to be the more hardcore of a gamer. Therefore, you put that, what you're trying to sell it to, even to a smaller box. Now, I can already hear the screams, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, they're not hardcore. An MMO is not like your Call of Duties, not like your Skyrims, where you can sit down and play an hour here, an hour there, a half hour there. MMOs tend to suck your life. I'm telling you, spending hours upon hours upon hours, and you blink, and you've spent more time than you want to on the game. That is a major turnoff for a lot of players. Most people, especially console people, want a casual gaming experience, and an MMO just doesn't provide that. I don't know how they're going to structure it, but if things go like MMOs go, it's not going to be just a casual game. You're not going to be able to sit down for a very short session, get what you want done, and be done with it. Therefore, the time suck is what's going to alienate people. There's already some bad things. So it's a $60 game, $15 a month for a subscription, and now I heard that they are separating things with their like legendary packages and their premium packages. You can get different races if you buy the gold edition or whatever. And that's just a slap in the face to your fan base. You should never sell anything that cannot be obtained in the game just because someone spent extra money. That's a red flag for everyone who's purchasing this. I haven't got into the game, but I know MMOs pretty well. I spent almost 4 years, and I was in the top tier in one of the North American realms on my Paladin in World of Warcraft. That game kept me coming back because of the content, and I really hope for Elder Scrolls Online's sake and for Bethesda's sake that this goes well for them. It's something that they haven't done before. And creating this world and creating the player experience is something that from the outside probably seems pretty easy, but unfortunately is very difficult to execute. Another fair warning for anyone getting into the Elder Scrolls Online launch day. This is going to be the worst launch you've ever seen. It's just something that comes with the territory. World of Warcraft was completely unplayable for almost 2 months on vanilla. When Burning Crusades came out, their first expansion, I couldn't even touch the game for like a month because it's like, oh my gosh, there were so many bugs and so many things wrong. The first month or two of Elder Scrolls Online, you're gonna have to hang in there. If you're someone that's dedicated and committed to playing the game, and you're going to enjoy it no matter what happens, stick with it. Hang in there because they will fix some of the stuff if the money's there. Since you guys are paying the $15, you're taking a $75 risk. Is this going to be worth my time or not? If you have that $75, go ahead and pick it up because MMOs can be some of the most entertaining gaming dollars that you can spend. However, take what I've said as a warning. If you don't have the true time to spend to it, maybe it's something that you just pass on. Maybe if you don't know about MMOs, go check out some of the ones that are free right now. Like I stated before, the Star Wars Old Republic, I believe, is free to play right now. Go see what that kind of entails. Yes, it's not going to be the same lore, the same storylines, the same build, but you want to see how much time you're actually going to be investing in this. All I know is if I sit down to play World of Warcraft, I'm looking at a 4-hour chunk of time regardless, and that's to barely get anything done. Guys, my name's Tony 2.0. If you have questions about MMOs or you have ideas about this, I've seen so many red flags that I'm gonna wait at least 2 months after launch to see where people are at on it. Obviously, this game is going to be a success just knowing Bethesda and how good Skyrim is, but I'm withholding my judgment until it goes free to play. This is my estimation and you guys can take it for whatever it's worth. Within the first year, this game will be free to play. There's no way that you can charge $15 a month subscription fee in this marketplace. I just don't think it's doable, especially for a team that's unproven in the MMO world. Again, guys, leave those comments down below. Let me know what you think. I could be completely off base here, but I don't like wasting my money, so I'm just trying to give you guys some help. Later.